This is CTV. Don't blink.
In the headlines tonight, police release autopsy report for Deputy IGP Paul Okech. No room for unvaccinated teachers. A tale of two lovebirds defying the odds. And in sports, another gold in the bag for Olympic champion Joshua Cheptegei. Thought-provoking news, informative and inquisitive. We bring you all this in tonight's edition. Good evening and welcome to CTV PM edition. My name is Melissa Mboha and joining me on sign interpretation is Isaac Ruchamuzi. Moving on to our top story, police have this afternoon released the autopsy report findings of Deputy Inspector General of Police, Major General Paul Okech, who died yesterday, indicating that he died of a blood clot that reached his lungs. Police have also released the official burial program, revealing that the general will be laid to rest in his ancestral home of Pader on Friday this week.
Since morning, government dignitaries, family members, and friends to the late Major General Paul Okech have been going to the home of the former Deputy Inspector General of Police in Chitichifumba, Kira Division, Wakiso District, to pay homage to the Lion of Mogadishu who passed away on Saturday 21st August 2021. The Chief Justice, newly appointed Inspector General of Government, and members of Parliament were among the many people today who went to pay their respects.
Found a person who was so professional, a person who picked all his calls, and if he didn't pick his call and found a missed call, he called back.
As Muslims, we say inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi rajiun, but there still remains questions. We say God should take the soul of the deceased to eternal peace, but what caused the death?
It is such a painful moment to lose a man of his caliber.
In an official statement released today by the police spokesperson Fred Enanga, it was revealed that the two-star general suffered a fracture on his right ankle after a simple accident at his home towards the end of last month.
He was making correction at his home and stood on a chair, which collapsed, and then he landed on the right ankle. And that is how the fracture was sustained.
Police adds that thereafter, Major General Okech received medical assistance at Ruby Medical Center under the care of an orthopedic surgeon.
The team of pathologists established that the victim got a fracture of the right ankle joint around the end of July.
After a while, it is said the general felt pain increasing in his right leg. 3 days ago, Okech then notified his doctor who scheduled an appointment on Saturday 21st August, but unfortunately, it is the day he passed away.
It is unfortunate that on that very day of the 21st of August, that's yesterday, the victim called the orthopedic surgeon at around 7:54, that is 6 minutes to 8 a.m. And as he was organizing himself in the bathroom, the victim started facing breathing problems.
According to a post-mortem carried out in presence of his personal doctor and family members, blood clots were detected in his leg and chest.
It is this blood clot that had been carried into the lungs that managed to block the vessels in both lungs, leading to a shortage in breath and subsequent death.
Enanga also released tentative barrier arrangements. According to police, a requiem mass will be held on Wednesday 25th at his home in Kira Chitichifumba, and later the body will be taken to his ancestral home in Padel district, where he will be buried on Friday.
Thursday, the 26th of August, the body will leave Kampala for his home village in Baibir, that is in Padel Town Council, in Padel district, where it will spend the night, and on Friday, the 27th of August, 2021, burial will take place.
The two-star general will have a gun salute. UPDF soldiers at rank of Major General will hold the pole, and police officers at rank of Commissioner will hold the swords. Last night, more dignitaries went to his home to pay homage to the late, and mass was held to pray for his soul. The file was compiled by Adams Mayambala for CPM Edition.
The Ugandan government has tasked more than 357,500 teachers to receive the full COVID-19 vaccination before reopening schools for all learners across the country. The Minister of Education and Sports, Janet Museveni, says no one will be allowed to access the school premises if they haven't received the jab. The details.
For a while now, politicians, educationists and students have been calling upon government to reopen the schools after them being closed during the lockdown. Recently, in his speech during the International Youth Day, President Yoweri Museveni revealed that schools will remain closed until a considerable number of people, including teachers, students and school employees, are vaccinated. Today, the Minister for Education and First Lady Janet Museveni revealed that only those who are vaccinated will be allowed to go back to school.
We are going to ask the head teachers and heads of these institutions to be strict, to make sure that no teacher who is not vaccinated is allowed to go to class or to go to school at all.
She adds that despite the vaccines in the country getting depleted, a second consignment is coming in, and the teachers from all learning institutions will be prioritized.
But to make it even more possible for them, she agreed with me that they will now take the vaccination posts to the schools themselves and to universities where the teaching staff and the 80-year-olds can go and be vaccinated alone.
The First Lady, together with the Ministry for Health, have agreed to bring the vaccination centers to all learning institutions to simplify the vaccination process for them. In the face of the COVID-19 threat, the government shut education institutions first in May 2020 and again on July 18, 2021, after a post-first pandemic wave faced reopening. The second lockdown, which ran for 42 days, has been partially lifted, but schools remain closed, leaving a total of 15.1 million learners locked home. Safi Mokile Baloku for CTV, PM Edition.
The government, through the Office of the Attorney General, has vowed to challenge the Constitutional Court ruling in a case where 5 civil society organizations and 4 individuals were challenging the Attorney General over the Anti-Pornography Act of 2014. Ramson Muhirwe has more.
In its ruling, court nullified Sections 2, Section 13, among others, of the Anti-Pornography Act 2014.
The anti-pornography law pretended to be protecting women, but what it did instead was it took away women's rights. You know, it was draconian, it was unnecessary and discriminated. It plucked the heart out of the law and rendered it impotent.
You need someone who's educated, someone who can understand the trickeries of these people and can be able to say, no, we need to make sure that we legislate to protect the African family. It's a very sad day. It's extremely sad, extremely distressing. You can admit that we as a people are unprotected.
Unanimously, the 5 judges agreed the respondent had failed to prove the harm to society as a result of publication of pornographic materials. The ruling also struck down the powers of 9-member committee tasked with enforcing law. However, the Attorney General Chiro Wachwanuka pronounced government's intent to challenge court outcome.
I've had an opportunity to read the decision of the court, and we have had an opportunity to discuss it here. We have made a decision to appeal it, and we are going to appeal it. We don't agree with a lot of it, so we shall be appealing now. I can't say much about that.
Is doomed.
We are going to see more pregnancies, you are going to see more violence, you are going to see more human trafficking, you are going to see more objectification of women, and you are going to see homosexuality, homosexual marriages. That is what is next. Unless if the people who are in power do something, we are going to move in that direction.
Simpa challenges fellow evangelists to join the queue opposing the act.
Buganda is there. Buganda should have someone who is protecting the family. Bunyoro Kingdom, Busoga Kingdom, we should have an alliance. Just like these people, they have alliances.
The legislation criminalized any activity deemed pornographic, from wearing short skirts to writing indecent songs. In 2014, Ugandan pop star Jemima Kansime became the first culprit after performing in a music video that revealed her underwear. A 20-year trial was slapped, and the current ruling may change her fate. Ramson Muhire, PM Edition.
Toilet facilities are a necessity for many, but in the ghettos and slums of Kampala, not many have the privilege of using them. Ghetto Research Lab are youths who are trying their best to improve hygiene in the slums. These youth have also gone on to create the composite toilet and hope to inspire change with it. PM Edition's Eve Masawi was there to bring you this report.
Cholera, dysentery, diarrhea and bilharzia are some of the hygiene-related diseases that affect people in the ghettos and slums of Kampala. Most of the people in the slums often defecate in the trenches and drainage channels. Slums such as this one are often found in swampy areas, and such areas often don't favor toilet construction, resulting to flying toilets. Because of the congestion, people with pit latrines extract their waste through a pipe or release it into a drainage channel when it rains. It is against this backdrop that people like Patrick Mujuzi have gained the inspiration to create hygienic methods of fecal. Mujuzi is the founder of Ghetto Research Lab, a creator of the sawdust toilet.
The hygiene that was prevailing in my community by then, we had no toilets. Remember, in the ghettos, we have limited toilets. And where they exist, they have padlocks, they have owners. So there are some people who don't really have anywhere to go and ease themselves. So what they do is to resort to flying toilets. So everywhere at the dustbin, you can find flying toilets.
Unlike other toilets, composite toilets are cheap and safe. He explains how it works.
We make sure we cover the bottom with sawdust. Then you can do your project down here. After cleaning yourself, you make sure you put another content to cover the gold.
However, this composite toilet is beyond just hygiene. This waste, which is termed as gold, when the bucket is full, it is poured in the composite pile. After a year, it is used as manure. Mujuzi says waste is only waste when you waste it. He earns a lot from it.
We pack at 5 kg. We pack at 5,000 per kilo. That means that in a pile like this one, after getting a ton, we are likely to get 5 million worth after selling the whole content.
Mujuzi notes that the artificial manure is not good for our soil. He explains why this is much better.
What we did is comparing the artificial pesticide and artificial fertilizer that we import from other countries, and we compare it with our compost manure. We realized that other artificial fertilizers are causing havoc, are causing hazards to our soils,
Residents here have also adopted the idea of using composite toilet. They explain why.
As the ghetto youths, we are trying to fight against or about the environment, whatever. So we try to use this composite toilet so that anyone in the ghetto can know the process of composing and also giving back to the environment.
He intends to share his vision and innovation with schools and prisons. Now I'm seated on a compost toilet here in the ghettos of Kamocha. Many of the residents here have adopted this kind of toilet. Why? It's very comfortable, it does not smell, yet very hygienic, I can assure you. Eve Masawi, CTV, PM Edition.
It truly is inspirational to see what Ghetto Research Lab are doing towards bringing hygiene to the slums. I do hope our reporter Eve Masawi has a few plans to purchase one of these toilets. But for now, we are taking a short break, but we will be back with more.
As we embark on a journey to realize our full potential, we all need expanded minds and limitless possibilities. We need to be accurately informed. CTV is your growth partner. With reliable, in-depth news, we tell the story from all perspectives. We bring you the story in real time. Catch our comprehensive daily bulletins in Juba Egorovie at 7 p.m. and PM edition at 9 p.m. CTV, don't blink.
Welcome back to CTV PM Edition with me, Melissa Mboha, and Isaac Luchamuzi on sign interpretation. Now, hundreds of people from Zone 7, Kataza village, who have encroached on land belonging to the Uganda Railways Corporation have asked their area member of parliament to extend their plea to government and reconsider evicting them come 1st September. Simon Chris Makanga has this report.
On 1st April, Uganda Railway Corporation warned whoever was illegally occupying or had encroached on railway land in any part of Uganda, urging them to vacate the land within a period of 6 months. Over 300 people here in Zone 7, Kataza Nakawa village are prone being evicted after receiving warning letters from the Uganda Railway Corporation and the Minister of Works asking them to vacate this place immediately.
Now, from here, the 30 meters up to here, this has been a free land buffer area between the railway area, railway reserve, and the Nakawa quarters. Nakawa quarters was this up one.
In a meeting held by the people residing near the railway lines that was attended by the area member of parliament, Ronald Balimwezo, residents revealed that they were evicted in 2000 from Nakawa quarters with a promise to resettle them.
This particular group of people in Kataza, came from Nakawa quarter. They are not encroachers on railway reserve land. It shouldn't be taken like that.
Nakawa East Member of Parliament, Engineer Ronald Balimwezo, says the residents' plea at the moment is for the government to create a resettlement plan for them.
Their plea is to make sure that government works out ways of resettling them as Ugandans that pay taxes. We have had government bringing refugees from Afghanistan. Then how about the very Ugandans that are here?
Balimweza says that he will take this matter before the floor of Parliament and also urged government to reconsider evicting the people in this area without future plans.
I think we should have a plan of resettling our people, particularly those that are in reserves, so that the government is expending lots of money uselessly. These are the programs that they should do and make sure that after resettling them, they take over the reserves.
Our efforts to reach out to the authorities, including Uganda Railway Corporation, Works Ministry, to get a comment did not yield any results as they did not answer their phones.
The subscriber you have called does not answer. Please try again later.
Since the COVID-19 induced lockdown started last year, President Museveni has called for the revamping of the railway transport system to help move cargo instead of using truck. This was at the time when the country was registering several coronavirus cases from truck drivers coming in from Kenya and Tanzania. Simon Chris Makanga, CTV PM Edition.
Thank you for that report, Simon Chris Makanga. At CTV, we take it upon ourselves to keep you informed on what is going on in the region as well as the international scene. In the regional roundup, we bring you the latest from the Somalia COVID-19 vaccinations and the conflict of Ethiopia's planned ban on social media.
Somalia has launched a COVID-19 vaccination exercise for all its civil servants. The program, announced by the Minister of Labour and Social Affairs of the Federal Republic of Somalia, Abdiwahab Ugas, is among other efforts aimed at preventing the spread of the COVID-19 virus. The vaccination program is implemented by the country's Ministry of Health and is aiming to reach all government agencies. As of August 18th, Somalia had 16,535 positive novel coronavirus cases, 8,010 recoveries, and 897 deaths. Elsewhere, Ethiopia says it plans to develop its own social media platforms after accusing global companies like Facebook of acting against the interests of the country and inciting violence. The director of the government's Information Network Security Agency, Shumet Gizau, told local media that Facebook and Twitter had become instruments for political forces. Ethiopia is also developing platforms that can substitute the messaging program WhatsApp and the video conferencing platform Zoom.
In our international news, we bring you the latest on the Hurricane Grace and former President Trump praising the Taliban. Let's have the details.
At least 8 people are known to have died after Hurricane Grace tore through eastern Mexico, bringing torrential rain, high winds, causing power cuts and flooding. The deaths and the worst damage occurred in the state of Veracruz, where the storm uprooted trees when it made landfall early on Saturday. In the state capital Jalapa, many streets became rivers of mud. High winds and downpours are reported to be causing more flooding as Hurricane Grace travels north of Mexico City.
The Taliban, good fighters, I will tell you, they're good fighters. We have to give them credit for that. They've been fighting for 1,000 years. That's what they do, is they fight.
Former President Donald Trump on Saturday evening recognized the Taliban's skill in negotiating and fighting as he sharply criticized President Joe Biden's Afghanistan withdrawal during a rally in Alabama. Following a week of blistering attacks against his successor, the Biden administration's withdrawal of U.S. troops from Afghanistan was predictably a central focus of Trump's speech at a rally held in part in support of Mo Brooks' campaign for a Senate seat. Trump spent little time promoting Brooks. He spent most of his speech condemning his successor, boasting about the Trump administration's accomplishments, and pushing his false allegations of voter fraud in 2020.
Sir, you're up about 45 points. This was before I knew any. I didn't know what the hell it even meant. 45 points.
A touching story here. These two lovebirds have never uttered a word to each other, but it is the love they have for each other that speaks volumes. Tonight, we bring you a tale of love of two people who can neither talk nor hear.
Marriage is a formally recognized union of two people as partners in a personal relationship, and when it comes to holy matrimony, it becomes a sacred act of togetherness honored by God and created as a lifelong obligation to one another. To honor his faith, Tony Eyubu, a deaf and dumb person, this weekend went on to formalize his union with his soulmate Conwell Erina, who happens to be also deaf and dumb at United Christian Center in Kasubi. Many of their friends and family also attended the wedding to bear witness at this unique occasion. What makes this union quite different, it is the fact that Eyubu and Erina have never heard each other's voice, and it will be like that for the rest of their lives. A day before they tied the knot, we met and spoke to the two lovebirds who told us about their journey of love and how they have managed to meet and fall in love, despite the fact that they have never spoken or listened to each other using the mouth.
We met in church when we were serving in the youth church, and were formerly OBs and OGs. So when we finished school, we continued meeting in the youth programs at church. And then sooner we became very good friends, and that's when I asked how if we could really go on and get married, and this is where we are now.
Erina says that she has come a long way with Eyubu and that they went to almost the same schools. Professionally, Eyubu decided to become a teacher to teach people like him who can't speak or listen. For Erina's case, she decided to learn a skill with her hands, so she became a hairstylist.
Serving in the ICD, that is Emmanuel Church for the Deaf, and I'm a teacher by profession, graduate from Kampala University. For now, I'm not employed. Thank you.
The couple says that they have never fought or quarreled since none of them is able to talk. They say this has also helped their relationship to flourish and strengthen their relationship because they are stress-free.
Marriage is like a new journey we are going to start. We are all excited since it's going to be a new experience, from a single life to something new we are yet to venture into.
A longtime friend and pastor of the couple elaborates on how he has managed to prepare the two for the momentous occasion in their life and how the couple itself couldn't believe that the day had finally arrived.
All is required is to be patient with each other, because we never know people's behaviors, what this one is like. One might have a weakness, but we must accept and try to forgive wherever they go astray.
These two people are now a living testimony of love and respect despite the challenges. Research also indicates that couples like Tony Eyubu and Conwell Erina tend to have a long-lasting and successful marriage. Suhail Mugabi, CTV PM edition.
A truly moving story, seeing these two lovebirds defying the odds. But for now, we are going on a short break, but when we come back, we have sports. So remember, don't blink.